This is why I stopped going to the gym. I was addicted to it. I was completely dependent on how my workout has gone, how my body was doing. Completely, I could not rest until I've completed that day's workout. Life's busy enough, my friends. There are many battles to fight, higher battles. And for a man to be obsessed with his body, I'm sorry to say that, but I think that's very emasculating. That's very, in a way, feminized. Because when you have men looking at the mirror all the time, I mean, unless you're making all your money from your body, being a professional bodybuilder, everything else, there is a lot of wounding, emotional wounding inside, which is, partly what I do in my job, in my coaching business. But I have to practice what I preach. And so, just to give you a little bit of a background as to why I quit the gym, I was 15 years old when someone punched me in the face and I didn't fight back. I didn't fight back because I didn't have it in me to fight back. But the very next day, I started lifting weights. See, the night before when I came home with a black eye, my father told me that, oh man, you need to beat them up. You need to find this guy. He saw my eyes. He knew that from my whole expression that I wouldn't do it. And then he sort of cursed me without meaning to. He did not mean to. He said, oh, forget it. I'll sort it out. You're not made for this. When he said that, part of me split, dissociated, and I started hating this part of my being that was a weak, childish little boy who was not made for this, because I wanted to be a strong man like my dad. My dad would have handled it pretty quickly and efficiently. Well, I started lifting weights, not because I wanted to be stronger, not because I loved my body and I wanted to see how I can develop it better to serve me in life, but because I hated myself and I wanted to keep that weakness at bay. The problem is when the weakness is inside of us, you cannot keep it at bay. You need to deal with it. You need someone like me to come alongside you and help you integrate that little boy and to say, hey, don't hate me. I can help you be strong. Of course I'm weak. I'm a little boy who did not have a good connection to his father. We all have a father wound. And this is why I was lifting weights. And this is why I later got into violence. And maybe violence is for another video. But the addiction to the gym, and I remember very well as a teenager, maybe 16 years old, I already started to see some gains in my body. But I remember very well in the summer vacation how my friends would just hang out, play cards. It was hot in the village. We just hang out in someone's house outside under some, shelter under the vine and just play cards, drink lemonade. But I remember not feeling comfortable with that. And I had to sneak out and go and do my workout. And then I would come back. Until my friend discovered me and they said, hey, that's what you're doing. You're lifting your weights. And I said, yes, yeah. But until I had done my workout, I could not get on with my day. I did not feel good about myself. I hated that little boy and said, what have you done today? You need to keep going strong. I hate you. And literally it was self-hatred. If I skipped one workout, I would look at the mirror and I would look at my body and feel weaker, less, like more puffed, more fat even, just for one workout. And I remember later when I was a bouncer and working on doors, and then one of my friends, chiseled body, great looking body, but he shared the same thing. He said, I don't know what's wrong with me. I just skipped a workout and now I just can't even look at myself in the mirror. Well, this is not funny. And actually the person I'm referring to, he killed himself. He's dead. Very dramatically. Very young. But self-hatred goes very deep. And a lot of us who are addicted to the gym, it is because we're hating ourselves. So I would just invite you, I don't want this to be a long video. I'm going to give you everything here, but I would just invite you to re-examine your connection to the gym. Because you see, I did a lot of work on myself. I did a lot of inner work. I did a lot of work on my father wound, my mother wound, and a lot of the gym addiction, just 90% of it went away. And I moved on, from doing the bodybuilding style things to functional training, to doing less frequently and more compound exercise, which just changed my life. It's so good. However, even that turned into an addiction because when I was skipping a workout, I still wasn't feeling good. And I still had to eat and I still have to keep maintaining this bigger body weight, bigger than what's natural for me. So At this stage, I knew that I had a problem, that no matter how much I changed my workouts, I would still be dependent on them for my well-being. And you don't want to be dependent. These things, they're meant to serve us, like money, working out, relationship. They're meant to serve us. They're meant to enrich our lives. If it feels like you're serving them, you have to do something. Now, the first thing that I would advise you to do is to look at the reasons why and how you started lifting. Maybe you hated that little boy, if you're a man who is into, maybe you're bullied, maybe something happened to you, and then of course, and I'm not saying your lifting is bad, I'm saying how you approach it. Something in you needs to come together. That little boy who's disconnected from you, and that's why you started lifting, for example, or doing martial arts or anything to make you strong. It's only a partial strength, because you're not fully strong until you have all of yourself put together. If not, you'll be at a constant war within yourself, and then you hate others as well. If you see someone who is overweight, you won't be able to have a good relationship with them, because this will always bug you. You'll always be bugging them to get fitter, and they have their own journey. There's a reason why they are what they are, but you have your own. So number one, deal with your father wound. Maybe you were unfathered, or maybe you had a harsh father. Maybe your father never affirmed you as a warrior, being strong. You need to deal with that, and I can provide you help with that. Number two, make changes. Make changes. Once you have spent some time dealing with your father wound, once you've welcomed that little boy back, well, that little boy has a lot to say about how you live your life. So allow him to disrupt your life. It might mean that you're going to lay off the weights for a little while. Maybe he wants to go and do some swimming or do some sports, something that's more integrated, something that's more appropriate for a young boy or a teenage boy, depending on where and what stage of life you lost that part of yourself that was alive, that made you feel alive. So for a while, I had to lay off the weights completely. Step number three, integrate the weightlifting, integrate the fitness back into your life, but in a different form. So, for example, I mentioned that I graduated, from bodybuilding stuff, just to how I looked, to strength training. That wasn't easy, because I had many aches and pains, and I still do. But I had to work through these things. I had to make myself flexible first, and then I approached the weights from a completely different point of view. So now I stopped the gym in 2016. I completely cut out the gym, and for a year I didn't do anything. I just had to face that ugly, wretched little boy inside. I had to welcome him and say, hey, I'm not going to make you do things that you don't want to do. I'm not going to abuse you anymore, stuff you with food and then lift these big weights. I want you back. Show me what happened to you, and show me, after this healing, show me what you want to do. And it was a great time of exploration. It was climbing mountains, learning how to swim, doing some boxing, martial arts, things like many things, many different things that normally I would not have time to or desire to do. And then, so from 2016 until now it's 2024. Last month I got a gym membership out, and I'm very excited because every Tuesday I go to the gym, and I've only done 3 weeks so far, and I already feel a bit stronger. Every Tuesday now I go to the gym, and I do squats, deadlifts, and overhead press. And throughout the week I'll do some pull-ups, some dips, abdominal exercises, some swimming. I join a boxing class with a friend of mine once every 2 weeks. But that just keeps the fun going and keeps me aerobically fit. Also, I walk quite a lot. I go fishing. I do other things. But exercise-wise, strong compound exercises once a week. Straight away, my legs, my hips feel better. My shoulder, I feel stronger when I pick up my children. Straight away. So there is a way to integrate this without compromising who you really are inside. I no longer need to eat so many meals before I go to the gym to make sure I lift the right amount of weight. I can listen to my body now. I can be in tune with my body. And so can you. But your connection, just to wrap this up, your connection to the gym comes out of your connection to yourself. You need to fix that. You can do better. You can do better. The gym can serve you. You don't need to serve the gym. Here to help you, go on my website. I'll put the link down below. I specialize in helping men fix the connection with themselves. So let me know if I can be of any assistance. And the next video I'm gonna make probably will be a little bit about the violent part of my life, of how I expressed some of those wounds around being strong, being a warrior. So yeah, you might want to check that out. Thanks a lot, guys. See you soon.